That is way, way cool. Well, you know, it's not Christmas anymore, but it's close enough. I have one more Christmas story. I love Christmas stories. And some of you have heard this before, but I don't think most of you, I don't think I've done it for most of you. All right. Do you know what's supposed to happen at midnight on Christmas?
Santa Claus.
That's true. Yep, there is that fairy tale that Santa Claus comes at midnight. And there's another fairy tale, because it's a fairy tale that I'm talking about. It's not the Bible story. But there's another fairy tale about Christmas, about what's supposed to happen at midnight on Christmas.
The ghost of Christmas.
You're getting close. If you go out into the barn, if you lived on a farm and you went out into the barn, don't you? What's supposed to happen at midnight? The animals can talk. At midnight, the animals are supposed to be able to talk. And if you sneak out to the barn and they don't hear you coming, you're supposed to be able to hear them talking to each other. Way cool. Well, I have gone out at midnight and they didn't say a whole lot. But at our house, the animals can talk, but they only talk about one thing. Well, 90% of the time, they only talk about one thing. I get up in the morning early. I'm a morning person. You can tell I'm old man. I get up early. I go outside. And my dream when I get up in the morning is I want to get out and I get outside before anybody else is awake. And I have a stool out there. And I sit on my little stool and I drink my tea. And I have two of the world's best cookies, oatmeal, chocolate chip, whole wheat. Oh, they are so good. So I have my two cookies and my hot beverage, and I'm sitting out, and and then I watch the sunrise. Of course, most of the time the sun doesn't rise around here. It's cloudy, but that's what I'm hoping for. So I go out, and it starts right in the kitchen. So I go out in the kitchen, turn on the hot water to make some hot water, and you know what happens? Remember, I want it to be all quiet and peaceful. Guess what happens? There's a little squeak in the kitchen door. And when it squeaks, all of a sudden, I hear this noise. And from upstairs, two little dogs they're just wiggling worms. They come running around, and they run round and around and around and around and around in the kitchen. And they're trying to tell me something. Do you know what they're trying to tell me? So in the morning, what do you want to do when you go in the kitchen? Eat breakfast. These little dogs are going, breakfast, breakfast. Can we have breakfast now? Now, can we eat now? All right, so I figure, okay, I got to feed these little dogs so I can have some peace and quiet. So I take the little dogs outside. Their food is in the barn. Guess who sees me walking to the barn? Jericho the horse. And Jericho the horse goes, "Oh, are you? Hey, me!" And he starts neighing. Feed me! Well, if I'm going to get any peace and quiet to sit on my stool, all right, I got to feed Jericho. Guess who lives next to Jericho? Bert and AJ. They're horses. And they don't neigh high like Jericho. They neigh like this. They have these really big voices. But they're even louder and more insistent than Jericho. They'll run up and down the fence right where my stool is going, me, in there, feed me. They don't speak English, but I get it. I feed them, and then there's Samson, and then there's Bolero. And while I'm feeding, and then the chickens come. Now, you guys, have you ever been attacked by chickens? Oh, it's scary. You go out there, and when they know you're there will be 30 chickens. And they're right there going, feed me. And they just look at you like this. Look at me. Come on, feed. And they get right under your feet. And every time you try to step, there's a chicken right there. So I go, okay, I'll get some food. And then the cows start mooing. That's right. That's what they say. And they mean one thing. Feed me. I'm hungry. So finally, after I had fed the dogs, the wiggling dogs. Oh, I didn't tell you about the cats. There's 2 cats in the barn. One is a Siamese. You know what Siamese cats say? Meow. Yes, you're good, Brody. Yeah. I mean, Siamese, they're loud. Now there's another cat there. Now this one's funny. He also talks, but he cannot meow. I don't know what happened. He can't meow. He kind of croaks. He goes, well, I can't mimic it. But it's like a croak. It's like a frog. But he's saying the same thing, sticking his head right there, going, feed me, feed me. I pet his head a little bit. He likes that. And after about 3 seconds, he said, okay, I'm done with the petting now. Come on, feed me. Stop feeding him. And after I have fed everybody, then I can take my thermos and go sit on my stool. And if it's not cloudy, I can enjoy the sunrise. Oh. So today's sermon is about food. So don't get hungry while I'm preaching. And the way you can tell you're a real human being, now humans are like animals in this sense. When we wake up, we get hungry. At least, I bet some of you get. Do you guys get hungry? I'm hungry all the time. And so we say, feed me, feed me, feed me. That's what animals say. That's what people say. But you know what people say that animals are not so good at? They say thank you. You know, when I feed the cat, when the cat gets done, he does not come over and go, man, that was a good breakfast, thanks. The horses don't say it. They're just busy eating. Munch, munch, munch. That's it. But that's why we, at our meals, say grace or the blessing, whatever you call it. We say a prayer at mealtime to do the extra special thing of saying thank you for our food. You can go back to your seats.